Hello and welcome to a new video. In the last video I talked about my experience in Australia and about things that are different, and in this video I want to talk about some more differences, some things that I noticed, some cliches, so be excited for part 2 of this kind of video, and we start with the first topic. Australia is a really big country, but it's not very populated. It's about 7.7 million square kilometers big, and there are living about 27 million people. Most of the people live in the cities, and the most populated city is Sydney, but also the population in Melbourne is growing. Most cities are along the coast, and the outback is not very populated. An interesting fun fact is, there are actually more kangaroos living in Australia than people. So it's kind of true that the animals control Australia, especially the kangaroos, but they are not everywhere. In Sydney I didn't saw any kangaroos, but I actually saw kangaroos close to Brisbane in a little village there, and I think most of the kangaroos are living more in nature, in the outback, but there are also kangaroos that are living close by cities or villages or something. Because Australia is so big, it takes a lot of time to travel from one city to another city. I took a night bus from Melbourne to go back to Sydney, and it took me 14 hours, so this was a really long ride. And I think it's more convenient to just take the plane. For example, to fly from Sydney to Brisbane, it's way faster, or to fly from Darwin to Adelaide, so the plane is much faster, and with a car or the public transport you need much more time. But if you travel by car, you can do a road trip and you can explore the nature, the coast side, and also some other sightseeing, so this is also a great experience. So with the plane you're faster, but when you go by car you can definitely see more of the landscapes. And yeah, because Australia is not just the cities, it's so much more, and I think the nature is actually the best of Australia. In Europe this is very different because you can get really fast from one country to another country, so it's not just traveling through cities, it's traveling from one country to another country. From Germany you can go to Denmark, to the Netherlands, to Austria, to France, and this all goes really fast. And you can also go to Italy or Spain, also just by car, you don't have to fly. It's actually everything is really close by, and there are good things about this and also bad things about this. Australia is a big country, and the good thing is it's not very crowded, not that much population. Especially in Germany and also in other places in Europe, it's really crowded. The good thing is you can see or explore more countries in a short period of time. This is much better than Australia, but Australia also has its advantages. The people are more chilled in Australia. They have this laid-back attitude and also a better vibe. But I have noticed that Australians sometimes need some time to accept you when you're not Australian, but after that they are really kind, they're really friendly, and yeah, they're just great people. And there's also a better quality of life in Australia. This is what I heard, but also what I felt. And this might be because of the weather, the sun, the beach, and the lifestyle in general. But yeah, with the people it always depends on an individual. But in general, I can say I really like the Australians. As you might know, Australians drive on the left-hand side like in the UK. At first it was kind of strange for me because in Europe and also in America we drive on the right-hand side, and it's a little bit confusing at first. And also the escalators and the walkways are on the left side. It's confusing at first, but then you get used to it. An absolute highlight in Australia are the beaches. I love the beach. The beach is one of my favorite places in the world, and yeah, Australia is known for its great beaches. I especially liked Manly Beach. We had to go from Sydney Harbour by ferry to Manly, and close to Manly is also Shelley Beach, a little bay with sand consisting of shells. Then there were also the northern beaches up north from Manly Beach, like Freshwater and Kulka Beach. It's really great to just spend your day at the beach or wait for the sunset. It was really beautiful, and I spent it there many hours with my friends. You also don't have to worry too much about the sharks because there are always lifeguards looking out for sharks and looking out for you. Sometimes the waves are really strong, so most of the beaches, when you go into the water, you can't really swim there, but you can have fun with the waves, go into the water, or you can just chill in the sun on the sand. And yeah, a lot of people come there. It's always a great thing, and I really love the beach. It's a great thing, and we also had 1 or 2 times when the beach it wasn't really closed, but you couldn't really swim there because the waves were too high because of the wind. And also an important thing is there are, like, you have to swim between the flags. There's a yellow and red flag, and this means it is secured by the lifeguards, so the lifeguards are watching this area, so it's safe to swim there. There are no sharks and the waves are not too high, and if something happens they can save you, so always look up for this. And yeah, the beaches are also part of the Australian culture because Australians also have a strong surfing culture, and the best places to surf are Byron Bay. This was also the place where I surfed the first time. It was really great. I tried to surf and I really want to do it again. Another great place to surf is obviously Surfers Paradise. The name already suggests this, but you can also surf in Sydney. And yeah, the surfing culture is also part of this laid-back attitude, what I was talking before when I talked about how chill the people are there. It's also kind of part of this surf culture, and also like the beaches, also the shops and everything around this have this surf vibes. Another great beach, or one of the best beach, was also Palm Beach. This was close to Sydney, but yeah, the beach in Byron Bay was like a paradise, and I also really liked the Long Beach, the promenade and everything in Surfers Paradise. This was also really great. Australia is known for its great beaches, and I can tell you the beaches are so awesome, and I had so much fun there. It was really great. Another thing a lot of people also do at the beach is barbecue. At a lot of beaches there are barbecue stations that you can use for free, which is pretty great, and you can just chill there with some friends and grill some sausages and meat. We also often did this. We didn't do this at the beach. We did this on the rooftop of my accommodation, which was also pretty great. But I have to tell you something, like the sausages they always make, they are really terrible. And yeah, I have to say this because I'm German. We have the best sausages, and yeah, this is like what I have to say. I didn't really like this. It was a cool vibe and it was cool to have this, but German sausages are obviously better. I just have to say it. Same for the beer. The German beer is of course the best, and I can't say anything else. I think the Australian beer wasn't that terrible, but yeah, the German beer is still better. I just have to say it. And a barbecue is always a great thing to do at the beach or on the rooftop. It's always fun and tasty. Now I want to talk a little bit about the nightlife in Australia. I spent many nights in Sydney in different clubs and bars, so I especially experienced the nightlife in Sydney, and I would say it's not that great. Most of the clubs just play the same mainstream music. I heard about a techno club is also opening there in Sydney, or has opened, I don't know. So there's still different kinds of music there, and I really like, my favorite club was Home the Venue, close to Darling Harbour, because they also had a techno and drum and bass area. They had 4 different stages. This was really great and I really enjoyed my time there. And yeah, the most popular club in Sydney maybe is Ivy. I didn't really like Ivy Thursdays. It's really crowded, and yeah, the mainstream music thing, but it was still a great experience. And Ivy is really great when there are famous DJs and events. Yeah, and in Sydney also the clubs and bars are all over the city. Newtown was pretty great for bars or pub crawl and something. This was really nice. We also did this really often, and yeah. But I also have to talk about nightlife in other cities, especially like the nightlife in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane, because all the clubs and bars were in one place. This was pretty fun. Also Gold Coast is more known for its parties, it's more the party culture. I can compare it a little bit to Mallorca, or what Mallorca is for Germans, so Gold Coast is more like amusement and party. It's not really that bad, and it's still really great. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is the Australian accent, and I have to say I really love the Australian accent. It sounds really great, it sounds a little bit funny, and before I traveled to Australia I couldn't really understand it, but after my time in Australia I can understand almost every word, but I can't really speak it, so I also don't try it. It wouldn't be a good thing, but I just really love the Australian accent, and this also like it goes back to the point about the people, that they are more chilled, they are more relaxed, and you can really also feel this laid-back attitude in the accent of Australians. I really had a great time in Australia and I loved my time there. And yeah, as I told you in the last video, I talked about my experiences, what was great, what was not so great, and some cliches, some things that were different. And in this video I talked about some more of these things. And yeah, I'm really happy that I was in Australia, and I definitely want to go back. And yeah, in my next video I might talk about some Australian cities and I compare Sydney to Brisbane and to Melbourne. This will also be fun, I'm excited, and yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Cheers!